So most marketing companies, right? They say, I can get you leads. Okay. Well, how do you know you can get me leads? Oh, well, because I've done it before for someone else. We're
Mhm.
the opposite. Everything that I give to my customers, I use on my business first. I use my business as a guinea pig.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the High Level Spotlight sessions where we showcase amazing marketers doing amazing marketing. Today, I am joined by Victor Rancour of Service Hero. Thanks for coming on, Vic.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited. And what you guys have allowed my business to do has been great. I mean, finding you guys has been a godsend so far.
Nice. So I think today might be a mix of spotlight sessions, and we have a series that we call Journey to 10K, where we interviewed newer agencies and talk about getting over that first hurdle of 10K. And so I think we're gonna have a little bit of a mix here. We didn't get much time to talk before hopping on. So I'm gonna say, let's just start at the beginning, because Victor, you are, correct me if I'm wrong, a business owner who turned marketer who opened an agency, right?
Yeah, so I own one of the fastest growing HVAC companies in the country out in Southern California. And me and my partner owns a pretty fast growing business out in Utah. He owns an HVAC business also. And we use social media marketing to expand our businesses really quickly. So when me and him met last year, he's kind of the guru on Facebook marketing, and I'm kind of I'm the face of it, I guess. So for me, I have a big network of other contractors that follow what I do and want to do kind of what I do and grow their business quickly. So when we met together, we kind of spitballed ideas off each other when we're like, what's working for you, what's not working for you. We were so tired of marketing companies that were just ringing us. They're taking us to the ringers. The amount of money I was spending with the shitty results.
Mm-hmm.
So Garrett, he had a proven thing that worked as far as on social media marketing, and now we're expanding in other services and stuff. But it worked. So we said, okay, let's test it on my market, test it on your market. Then we started testing it on our friends' markets to see, we were in Baton Rouge and Texas, and it was working everywhere. So February, I know it was like March, beginning of March of this year, we said, okay, let's launch this brand, let's launch this marketing agency. And I mean, immediately it took off. I mean, I think we're at like 50 something clients already. And I think we're on pace
Wow.
over 1 million our first year at least. So it's been fantastic for us.
That's really great. So, on Journey to 10K, I'd love to go really dive into how'd you get that first customer, that first client. But I mean, you already in the industry, so I'm sure you had a bunch of colleagues and you just, reached out to one of them and said, hey, can you be our first guinea pig?
Yeah, so me and Garrett, the co-founder, we actually have, a small group of guys that we spitball ideas off of, and we kind of like our little mastermind stuff. And we're all pretty young. I'm 31, Garrett's 30, and we both are growing these HVAC businesses pretty rapidly. So no one really understood the social media marketing space. And I felt like everybody was getting the runaround. The leads were shitty. Half the issue with getting the leads was how to get in contact with them right away. Cause a lot of marketing companies, what they'll do is they'll run the ad, then they send you an email with the phone number and stuff. Then you got to try to get a hold of them. So
Mm-hmm.
we're like, okay, we got to find a better way. And we're doing all kinds of different softwares, and we happened to stumble on HighLevel, right? So somebody we were talking to was like, hey, have you seen this? And we're like, no, we haven't seen it. We started, and Garrett's like, I don't know. Whatever he does, he goes super into detail. He wants to learn everything about it. So he
Nice.
2 days into it, he's like, yeah, we're using this. This is going to help us go where we want to go. So we've been able to automate everything through HighLevel. So, and that's made a huge difference, right? Because most of our customers are busy. They don't have time to go and respond to every email or look at the email. And they're like 2 hours later, then they're like, oh shit, I got to call that person. And everybody knows if you wait 2 hours for a lead, it's pretty much dead. You got to be there within the first 5 to 10 minutes. And that's what HighLevel has allowed us to do. We have obviously an SMS, text message, email, all that stuff immediately has allowed us to scale quickly. So, yeah.
So I'm curious, because HVAC is a very popular niche in our community, right? We have a lot of marketers doing HVAC marketing. And you're, like you said, you're pretty young. Is HVAC a family business that you took over? What made you choose to go into HVAC?
You know what? I got into HVAC 5 years ago in March. Didn't know
Mm-hmm.
anything about it. A friend of mine went and applied at a company that was offering free training. They're going to train you how to do it. He went there first, applied. I was like, yeah, I'll see. They promised all these things. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Nothing's going to come through. It's usually how it is. Right.
Mm-hmm.
A couple months goes by. He says, hey, I'm like, hey, how's that job going? He's like, dude, it's going great. And he shows me his paycheck. And literally the first thing I said, you're an idiot. You can do that. I can do that. So I'm like, I don't know nothing about it. So I went and applied and I ended up getting the job. And then I quickly became the top sales guy in the country. I think within a year, I became the top selling tech in the country. And then I kept expanding from there and got recruited to another business and kind of snowballed. Along that way, I built, a pattern of success on how I want things done. And I also trained a lot of people along the way. So when I went to go start my business in August of 2018, I had a bunch of people that are like, they already knew that it wasn't like an if thing. They already knew that if I did this thing, it was going to turn out fantastic. So we're going into 2 years next month, and I have 52 employees now, 30 some trucks on the road, and we're about to start expanding in other states. So it's been something that's allowed me to grow, but most of that's growing through social media. Through social media marketing, stuff like that has allowed me to grow. Obviously, being 31, not having a bunch of money to be able to blow on marketing, I had to find a way to get into to kind of cut my teeth in marketing, and social media was the cheapest, most effective way for me.
And now that you're having such success on the agency side of things, what do you foresee for your future? Do you feel like you can run both, or are you going to have to make a decision at one point? Where are you at with that?
You know what? I'm actually going to be using both because it's the agency's allowing me to test markets before I go into the market. So over the next couple months, I'm getting acquired by a pretty big private equity firm, and then our goal is to expand our services in other states. And I already know because of my marketing, I said, hey, my marketing works in this state. We can open up tomorrow, and I'm going to have ROI quickly, right? I'm going to be able to flip the switch, and we're going to be able to get money coming quickly. So it works together. And I love the marketing side is fun for me. I've to watch watch contractors, get leads they weren't able to get before, be able to sell jobs, be able to grow their business is actually really fulfilling to me, I guess. Because of the HVAC side, I have so many processes and people in place that I kind of have, I do my own podcast. I got to find things to keep myself entertained nowadays. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So I think with the marketing stuff, it allows me to help people and expand on it. And I think that I'm going to be able to run both very successfully in the future.
Nice. Well, I want to share my screen for a second with your website, because I think the brand is fantastic. The website looks really great. One thing that struck me, you're kind of going through what you guys do here, and phase 2 is profit. And I think this just struck me as so interesting because you don't see this on a lot of agency sites. And I feel like you have to really know the industry inside and out to be able to say some of the things that you're saying here. So you're talking about like evaluate your current customer concentration ratios, develop key metrics to measure and optimize profits, find new sources of recurring revenue. So that, like, you really have to know your industry to be able to do these types of things. It's almost like business consulting on top of marketing.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
So, I mean, obviously, as I grow through my business, I've had to learn a lot of stuff along the way, and I've learned how to, what kind of KPIs to look for, stuff like that. And I'm able to, part of like doing business with my marketing firm is you get me doing sales training, getting business coaching throughout it. So that's obviously another add-on feature to what we can do. The other thing is, when you're dealing with so most marketing companies, right? They say, I can get you leads. Okay, well, how do you know you can get me leads? Oh, well, because I've done it before for someone else. We're the opposite. Everything that I give to my customers, I use on my business first. I use my business as a guinea pig. If the ad copy is working great, boom, I'm rolling it out to all my customers. Or, if that picture or that video is working well, I'm able to test it first. If it's garbage, then I don't have to waste my customers' money. So that's one thing I tell them. I say, look, when you're going with us, I've already spent the money. I've already spent hundreds of thousands on marketing my own business. I know what works and what doesn't work. And I'm not going to use those shitty stuff on you and waste your money because then you're mad at me. And that was one of the big things starting this agency. And I talked to Garrett and I said, I don't really care, how this goes. If we suck, I'm giving all their fucking money back because my reputation is, sorry about the language, but I'm like, my reputation is far more important than the money I make on the marketing, which we make really good money. Like we do really, really well for ourselves, and we've been able to hire employees and been able to grow this thing. But I would literally give every penny back if it's going to tarnish my name. And I think that's been big for us.
So talk to me, we're in crazy times with COVID right now. And I have a personal newsletter where I actually just sent something out last weekend about alternative revenue ideas that I thought were really interesting and unique. And when I saw that on your website, I thought, wow, okay, I really need to ask him about this. Like, in these times, what business couldn't use a new revenue stream, right? So when it comes to HVAC, what are some of the ideas that you're talking with these companies about how to make revenue in ways they didn't think of?
So, I mean, so when I started like guerrilla marketing stuff. So one of the first things that I did when I started my business, I didn't have that much money. So I went to every pizza shop near me, right? I went to
Mhm.
every pizza shop and I said, hey, I'm going to pay you this much a month. Just put one of my flyers on your pizza box. Well, that means I get to target all those people in the areas that I want to be in. They only deliver in certain areas, right? So I did that as like guerrilla marketing in the beginning. But we're also able to, through the agency, we're able to negotiate radio ad spots. We're able to write ad copies for the radio ads. We have people in-house producing that. We also have full-time videographers in our agency. So I can send a videographer to anywhere in the country within 24 hours. I can have them at your shop. Stuff like that that's allowed us to separate ourselves. But yeah, and then also we do digital, like we'll be able to make mailers for, like, we do like a lot of mailer stuff, ad copy stuff,
Mhm.
presentation books, pricing books. That's one of the big things in my industry in HVAC is that these guys they go into a house and they're not prepared for anything, right? They don't have any process. They don't have presentation books. They don't have any stuff leave behind stuff. So we create all that stuff for them using proven stuff that I've done. So like my sales process, most HVAC companies, they come in, they measure stuff and they say, okay, I'm going to send you an email tomorrow or the next day. Well, my guys, they go in, they have all the stuff right then and there. They say, hey, let's sit down. Let's go over and build this together. They got the pricings right there and then we sell it right there. So I'm able to boom, put them on the market, take them off the market rather than these other guys. They come in and they're sending out an email and hoping and praying someone's going to answer. Right.
Mhm.
So that's something that I bring to our clients and I offer them that because it's really expensive to build all that stuff. You got to have money. You got to have knowledge of it. I've already built it. I already know
Design
it works.
talent. Yeah.
Exactly. And we have all that stuff in house. So that's been something that's separated us from the competition also.
Very cool. All right. So I can't let you leave before I ask you this because we do have so many people in the community that do HVAC marketing. And I know HVAC marketing is a lot of seasonality, different services for different times of the year and stuff. What tips can you give us about HVAC marketing? What off the top of your head works really well that if you're not doing it, you got to start?
Um, Shoot. We do a lot of tune-up offers, so a lot of guys stay away from that. And that's been the biggest ROI for most of our customers is the tune-up offers. A lot of guys, agencies, right? They want to provide as many leads as possible. But my
Mhm.
goal is to provide, because as an HVAC contractor, right, our most important thing, everyone thinks it's a sale, right? Our most important thing as an HVAC contractor is actually collecting clients. We have to collect clients, their data, and our goal is to flip them into maintenance agreements. So we get monthly maintenance agreements. That's how we grow our business and scale it to sell it. So
Interesting.
all of our clients, most HVAC or marketing companies, they only go after the estimate because that's the money right away, right? Well, we tell our clients, hey, we'll go after the essence. We get that also, but hey, we got to fill your board. So we fill your board with these service calls. These service calls, they might not be buyers today, but these are future customers. You get to nurture them, bring them along. So that's something that a lot of agencies should step into, and they're just scared because they can't. It's not going to be as many leads. It's not going to be as the biggest ROI. But if you have the conversation with the customer and explain to them that the value of your business is going to be your database going forward. I'm in the position right now about getting acquired. Right, no private equity companies don't buy 2-year-old businesses, right? They don't want to be part of that unless you have a process and something in place that makes sense. And I was able to build through social media. I was able to build up thousands of monthly memberships in a short period of time because I was marketing towards tune-ups. And I think if you talk to your HVAC business owners and explain to them that way, and you talk to them, it will make sense, and you'll want to run those ads for them.
That's really interesting. So, you're playing the long game. And when I saw that on your website, something that you help them out with exit strategies. I mean, you never see that on marketing agencies' websites and stuff. And now it makes sense to me because you're right. Like equity firms, companies that buy other companies want to see recurring revenue that is predictable. And it sounds like with a service fee model,
Yeah.
that's what you get. So that's really smart. I like that.
Well, I'm also trying to buy them also.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
I'm going to build up my clients so I can buy them. I don't know, man. That's kind of what my position is now going forward is I'm trying to acquire other businesses to expand us in other states. So I'm hoping maybe I could build up some of my clients and they can have a nice exit or we can partner, stuff like that. So we kind of bring a lot more to the table that other marketing companies can. Like I've been a multi-million-dollar salesperson. I've been in the homes. I've ran a business. I kind of know
Mhm.
the ins and outs. So that's what's allowed us to grow. We don't market our agency really. It's all word of mouth because we put up the results and then also we back it up with a lot more knowledge and tangible stuff. Like it's not just leads for us. We're everything. I'm your big brother, I guess. So I think that's
That's
what.
so interesting because back when I used to, run operations for an agency, we specialized in a niche, and we used to have these conversations, and it would come down to be like, should we just open one of these businesses ourselves, or like should we partner with one of our clients just to be at that level of it? Because like in theory, you should be able to run the best of that business, right?
Well,
So it's really cool to see you say that you're actually doing it.
Well, there's another customer of yours, Lyle Horst, and he's been the marketing side. That's what he did, Facebook marketing for HVAC contractors. And he hit me up like 4 or 5 months ago, and he said, "Hey, I want to open an HVAC business." I'm like, "You're crazy, dude. Just stick to the money. The money's in marketing, brother. Once you have an HVAC business, all these moving pieces and trucks and all this overhead and all this other stuff that goes into it." But he's like, "No, I really want to do it." So me and him had some real conversations, and I broke down what I look for in a business to acquire, what what numbers to track, what to do, how to grow the business. And he's actually been successful. I think about 2 months ago, he started his business, and they're growing rapidly, which is really cool to see, because most people, the first off, they're too scared to do it. Second, they say they want to do it, and then they get in there and it's like, holy shit, that's a lot of undertaking. But he's done it. And he's very successful on HVAC marketing, and we spitball ideas off each other. There's so many HVAC contractors, man. It's a lot of money to go around. But I think that it's pretty cool. If you are that good at it, you think you're that good at marketing, try to step into the game. And if you can really do it, then I think you're the real deal in my opinion.
Wow, that's really cool. I love that. So you mentioned that you have a little mastermind going on. If people are hearing this, they want to know more, they want to get in touch with you, where should they go?
Well, I do run a Facebook group called HVAC Owners and Closers. So you can reach out to me on there, or you can reach out to me on Facebook. I answer pretty much all my direct messages. Just Victor Rancour is the name, VICTOR RANCOUR. You can look me up, add me. I think I got a couple spots left before I get my 5,000 max or whatever it is. But yeah, if you add me, we'll be able to communicate back and forth on there, and I can spitball ideas. And then, my agencies are pretty much an open book. We all want to get better. I know we just came. I know Garrett was up last night. He was able to figure out how to get people to be able to book calls through HighLevel and go into our system. So we're like, you don't have to communicate. Like, they could go in there, book calls in there, which is pretty cool. I didn't know it was possible, but he figured out a way last night. I don't know computers as well as he does, man. He's the computer guy. Like I said, I'm the sales guy. I'm the one that everybody wants to deal with. He's the one
It's
that
an
makes
important combo.
he makes the shit happen in the background. So I tell him he's my Woz to Steve Jobs. I'm Jobs. I'm the salesman, and he's Woz at the back end making shit work.
There you go. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on the show, and congrats on the baby to be.
All right, man. If you guys, I also have a podcast. Hero Podcast comes out every Monday on Apple or Spotify. I talk about business, talk about marketing. I talk about a bunch of stuff. So if you guys are interested, you can subscribe to that also.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.
Later, man.
See ya.